can see, we just got a bunch of snow, so I'm gonna take advantage of that. And before I start the workday, I'm gonna go out for a few hours on the snowmobile, meet up with my friend Lee possibly, and just cruise around some of the local trails. So let's go. When that happens, because that snowbanking is like 4 feet deep and there's a road right here, so I had to stop before the road, and I made the mistake of stopping right at the start of that hill, so I sunk right in. Try not to make that mistake again. Alright, so nice little day out today. Last time we talked in this video, we had a pretty big snowstorm. Since then, we've had a couple 40, 50 degree days, and the snow has started to melt, so the roads are nice and clean, which means I can take the car out and do this little video for you. So in today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about a business topic that I see a lot of newbie or even sometimes experienced entrepreneurs struggling with. I know a lot of people who watch my videos, they're not just interested in the car stuff, they're interested in business. So I'm always happy to talk about business when I can make it work on the channel. And I'm reading a book right now called Ready, Fire, Aim by Michael Masterson. It's a really good business book, probably the best business book I've ever read. It really explains how to go through the different stages of growth in a business, or the different stages of growth that a business naturally goes through. You know, you have different stages from 0 to 1 million, then the next stage is 1 to 10 million, I believe. The next stage after that is 10 to 50 million, and then after that, I believe it's 50 million to 300 million or 100 million, something like that. And that's like where the business is really considered mature. It's kind of crazy. And in this book, I really think that Michael Masterson did a really good job of talking about the very first thing that a new business should focus on, and that is creating a system for selling your product. You should not really be focusing on anything else besides figuring out what the optimal selling system for your product is. You know, from 0 to 1 million, that's what you should be focused on. You should not be focused on creating the very, very best version of your product. You know, that's just kind of a recipe for disaster. You should instead be focused on developing what's called an MVP product, which means minimum viable product. What are the very basic, bare features that my product should have when I first bring it out into the marketplace, to kind of just prove that my idea is something that people are willing to spend money on? And basically the way you prove your idea for a new product is you put it out into the marketplace and see if it sells. It does not have to be the best version of the product. You can continue to make it better after you prove that it sells. And that's exactly what Lamborghini did with this car here, the early model Lamborghini Gallardos, you know, the 04s, the 05s. You know, as you guys know, the 04, 05 Gallardos, they were not the best car that Lamborghini has ever created. Or, you know, there have been better cars that have come since then. You know, the LP 560, the LP 570 Gallardo, even the 2006 to 2008 Gallardos were a lot better than the 04, 05s. And now you get the Huracan, and things are just on a whole nother level that, you know, you can't even compare the early model Gallardos to the Huracans. You just can't. The technology advancement is just so insane. So what Lamborghini did when they first started selling the Gallardo, when they first came up with the idea for it, they were in a weird place. You know, they had recently been acquired by Audi, and they had the V12 Murcielago, and they wanted to develop a car that would allow them to tap into other segments of the market. Because, you know, let's face it, the flagship Lamborghini models, the V12s, you know, those are the most expensive. You know, you got the Aventador now, it starts around $400,000. And, you know, for a lot of people, that's out of reach. So Lamborghini wanted to introduce a kind of an entry-level car, you know, a V10 model that would appeal to a wider segment of the market, allow them to make more profits, and you know, pull in more customers, which ultimately would mean you know, it would grow their company, grow their brand, grow their reach. So that's why Lamborghini wanted to create the V10 Gallardo. But they didn't know if it was going to be a worthwhile venture. They didn't know if it was going to sell as well as they expected it to, or as well as they wanted it to. So they, you know, why didn't they go ahead the very first time and make the Gallardo the very best version that it could be? For example, you know, you look at the LP cars, the LP Gallardos, you know, they're worlds ahead of the 04, 05s. That's because when Lamborghini set out to make this car, you know, they probably did all this market research, and you know, they're like, all right, this car is most likely going to allow us to tap into another segment of the market that couldn't afford our V12 cars. We're going to do this, and we're going to create a very profitable brand. We're going to turn Lamborghini into a profitable brand. But they didn't know, like, you could do all the research that you want, and you know, you still don't know if your product is going to sell until you put it out into the marketplace. Well, Lamborghini went to make this car, they didn't make the very best version of this car. For example, the E-gear is very problematic in these cars, very jerky in the city. You know, they could have put more time into that. You know, it didn't have a front lift system. You know, the new cars, they have a front lift system, so when you go over a big bump, you can actually lift up the front end. The 04s don't even have that. Some of the interior parts, you know, you can tell that the fit and finish is not really as good as it could have been. It's almost like Lamborghini kind of just threw together an MVP product, a minimum viable product. What is the very basic version of our product that we can create right now, get it out into the marketplace, start selling it, see if our idea for this car is a legitimate idea, if it's going to sell, see if this idea for a product that we have is actually going to sell. And once it starts selling, then we'll keep revising it, making it better and better by using the revenue created from the sales of the earlier cars. And that's, you know, pretty much, for lack of a better term, without getting too technical, that's pretty much what they did. And that's how you need to treat your business, whether you're a new entrepreneur wanting to get into entrepreneurship, or if you're a seasoned entrepreneur. We all forget sometimes that we should not spend months or years investing our entire life savings into creating one particular product. You should create the very, very basic sellable version of it, and then figure out what your optimum selling system is. What is the one best marketing strategy that you can deploy day after day to bring in new customers and actually start moving units and bringing revenue into the business? Then you can take the profits from those sales and reinvest them back into the business, keep improving the product, get feedback from the customers, say, oh, we wish this was better, we wish that was better, we wish it had this feature, we wish it didn't have that feature. Because you never really know what customers want in a product until you go out there and you put your product out into the marketplace. So what would be like the negative effect of not doing things this way when it comes to creating new products, launching new businesses? What would be the negative effect if you were to, spend years crafting your product exactly how you think customers are going to want it, and without even launching the MVP version into the marketplace to get feedback? What would be the negative effect if you just went all in and said, no, I know this is what people want, I'm going to create it, and then when the product is created, then I'm going to try to sell it. I'll worry about selling it after. It's a good product, so it will sell itself when it's done. What is the negative effect of that? Well, when you hear businesses, new businesses that go under, like new tech startups and things like that, their products may be great, fantastic, but where they totally overlook things is the marketing side. Really, the business is not a business until you can prove that your product will sell, that people are willing to spend money with it. So the negative effect of doing things that way is that you invest all this time, money, and resources into creating a product that you don't even know will sell. And then when you go out there and you start trying to sell it, you find out that people don't want it. They want something slightly different, or something with different features or whatever. You don't actually know until you get that product into the marketplace. So don't make this mistake, because a lot of businesses fail because of this. They forget the marketing, they leave the marketing for last, when in fact the marketing should come first. You should not put all your time, money, and resources into creating the best product to start with. Create the MVP, the minimum viable product, and then figure out how to sell it, and then tweak it, make it better after that. That's how successful businesses are really made. Just a real life example, I've been at my business full-time since 2009. That's I think almost 9 years, 8 years, almost 8 years. And I still make this mistake. Sometimes I'll screw up and I'll put months and thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars into developing a new product idea, bring it out into the marketplace without even doing proper research, and a couple times they have bombed. One product I just launched was a video software called Humalytics. I went into it with a couple partners, and it was this really groundbreaking technology that allowed people to basically turn on their webcams while they're watching your videos, and you could read their facial expressions and see how your video is affecting them emotionally. Really powerful data to have if you're a marketer, a business owner, to see how your viewers are responding to your videos. We thought this was going to be a big hit in the marketplace. Like I said, we invested lots of money into creating it, lots of time, money, and resources, and we didn't do the necessary niche research, that we should have done, and we didn't listen to the marketplace, because the marketplace was not telling us they wanted this, right? We just assumed that they would buy it if we created it. And we launched it, and it was one of the worst selling products I've ever had. I lost thousands of dollars, and it was a big hit to not only the business, but my ego as well. I was like, do people not want to buy my products anymore? What's going on here? But really, all we did was we just ignored the marketplace. We didn't listen to the feedback they were giving us. We just created what we thought they would want. So just a quick little business lesson here today, and I'm going to try to mix more business in with the car videos like this. I'm going to do my best. You guys may have noticed that I've been slacking a little bit on the channel. That is because I'm really 150% focused on taking my business to the next level this year, and I just haven't had time to go out and talk about anything else aside from business. So if I can mix it in with this channel, mix those videos in with these videos, it's going to allow me to do both. So hopefully you guys are okay with that. So thanks so much for watching this video. And if you do like this type of content, please let me know by pressing the like button. That's the only way that I know if you like or don't like this stuff. So please do that. Subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you in the next video. Talk to you later. Bye.